Hey everyone, how are we today? Just doing a quick all signs reading. Today we're going to look at the ghosts of Christmas past. Okay, so we're reflecting back upon the year that has been, and basically it's a time at the moment where we are in that in-between period. You know, we're finalizing the year before we start the brand new one. So it's a really good time to be reflecting upon, what we have learned, secrets that have been revealed to us. That seems to be the part of the theme that's coming through today. The two decks that have sort of popped out for me today that I will be using, we have the Secrets of Wandwood Oracle deck, as well as the Innocent Secrets Lenormand. Okay, so both having the word secret there, so it kind of led me to believe that this is going to be, revelations and epiphanies that we have, upon reflection, things that we're realizing that, we may not have realized up until this point, where we are doing a little bit of reflection, preparing for the year ahead and all that fun stuff like New Year's resolutions and all that. Timestamps in the description box as always. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. I do really appreciate that, and it does allow you to stay up to date with all the readings, which I do just want to let everybody know they may be a little bit sparse in the next couple of weeks. Okay, we have Christmas, and then I will be traveling, over the new year, so I will get the videos up as I can get them up, okay guys, but bear with me. There may just not be a huge volume of videos in the next couple of weeks. All right, also it's been super hot here in Australia, and if you're like me, you don't deal well with the heat. I'm absolutely melting. Okay, so it's a deal to find space that's not super hot to even be able to record and things like that. So do what we can do, okay guys, but we're going to get into it today with Aries. Like I said, timestamps will be in the description box. Okay, Aries, Christmas reflection messages for Aries. What does Aries need to reflect upon this Christmas, please? Tradition, Aries. So it does talk about the structure, the foundation, the traditions that you have sort of set up for yourself in your life, good and bad. Sometimes we put traditions upon ourselves that don't really fit, and so it may be a reflection period for you to sort of come into some sort of understanding that certain traditions that you have been attempting to upkeep just aren't the right format for your life, and that it's okay for you to sort of break tradition in certain circumstances. But then there's also other traditions that you actually do feel as though they lay a strong foundation for you and your morals and whatnot, and that you're wanting to sort of uphold those traditions in your life. So it's really a time to reflect upon the way things have been done, as compared to the way you think things should be done. All right, Aries, but we'll clarify that a little bit further for you here. Christmas reflection messages for Aries. Christmas reflection for our Aries. Definitely seeing you needing to break free from some of those traditions here, Aries. We start off with the scythe for you here. So there are some sort of things that, it's kind of that energy I'm picking up here, that it's, especially with this snake card coming through as well, it's kind of like this is what society says you have to do, and it's time for you, Aries, to break that tradition and sort of stand up for yourself against it's kind of you against the world with this sort of stuff, where it's just not right for you, and that is perfectly fine. It's time for you to break free from that traditional aspect. I do feel for a lot of you that this is like things like you may have been raised a certain religion, and now as we get older, it doesn't matter how old, sometimes it's very young for some people, sometimes it's not until later in life people realize, oh, that's not actually what suits me the best, that's not actually what my beliefs are, doesn't actually match. And you do see people changing religions, or leaving a certain religion. Just as an example there, I feel like that is not encompassing what this is all about for you specifically here within the collective. There's a whole range of things here, but with the snake there, I was picking up a bit of a religious vibe, because the snake is based upon the idea of the snake in the story of Adam and Eve, right? And Eve followed the temptation to eat the apple, as the snake said, eat the apple. There was just something about that, that you're breaking free from what you're told to do, kind of thing. You're eating the apple, so to speak, Aries, in some kind of a way. You're breaking through the illusion that this is what you have told yourself, that this is what your life needs to look like. So it's kind of like, I'm picking up the message about the white picket fence storyline for a lot of you here as well. It's like a lot of you have been, raised to believe that you have to, meet someone, get married, have 2.5, have the perfect house, the perfect job, the perfect kids, and that just does not suit you. Okay, because especially in this day and age, Aries, there's been a rise in, no one can afford homes anymore. A lot of people choosing to not have children anymore. Your ideal vehicle may not be that suburban, soccer mum car kind of thing. You may choose the red Ferrari or whatever, and you're just not sticking to tradition the way that you were raised to believe tradition should be. And I feel like this is coming through as a bit of an epiphany for you at the moment, Aries, about the fact that I don't even want that. Kind of realizing that all these things that you've been telling yourself, that's how I have to live my life, that's the goals I have to meet for myself, you're kind of realizing that's not even right for me. Why have I been telling myself that that's the tradition I have to step to, when that's not actually me? That doesn't fit me. And, I don't care about, whatever it is. And so why would I, stick to that tradition when it's not actually something that I even care about? We also have the dog coming through here, Aries. So there is a strong connection to, you have been very loyal to this tradition in some way. There's a lot of loyalty there, and it's kind of this comfort zone coming through with that, that it's, if all else fails, I can depend on, that being the format that life is supposed to look like. And you're really breaking free from that as well. The dog is the card of friendship. So for a lot of you, you maybe are experiencing, friends helping you break through this barrier within yourself, and talking to friends may really help, and understanding your loyalties to tradition, and why is that, why do you have that loyalty or dependence on that traditional belief, and is that actually serving you? So I feel like that's the big question for you to reflect upon here, and not being afraid to cut that out of your life altogether if it's not suiting your highest good. That breaking free from that is actually going to really, it's kind of like shattering the illusion here and allowing you to move forward in ways that maybe you were afraid to, even though they seem to suit you more, if that makes sense, Aries. So that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Taurus. Okay. Taurus, Christmas reflection messages for Taurus. What does Taurus need to reflect upon this Christmas, please? I'm going to grab you a second one here, Taurus. We do have the Hawthorn Wand card, which is a little bit unique in this deck. Taurus, another one for Taurus, please. Change, okay. So we do see the witch on the broomstick in that change card. So we are going to, interesting enough, I have decisions on the bottom of the deck there as well. So this is like the wand of change, and you can even see that here in that wand card. Look, we've got a leaf, we've got a little, I'm not even sure what that is. We'll call it a little white blobble. And then we've got the little red berry, and then we've got a flower. So, there's so much potential to be whatever you want to be in this wand card, and to change into whatever suits you, that you don't have to be a wand that only makes leaves. This plant might grow more than just a leaf. It might grow berries, it might grow flowers, it might grow little white blobbles as well. And you really have the power behind you, the magic to fly into these changes here, Taurus. For a lot of you, there's been a lot of changes, that have, it's like having to accommodate to change this year, Taurus, and having to accommodate to, all of a sudden I'm a stick that only has leaves, and now I've got these little red berries. Where did they come from? What does that do? How do I adapt to that? But it's something to do with your own magic here as well, Taurus. It's saying the magic of love. It's giving me a very Hallmark Christmas movie kind of energy too. I'm not going to lie. Taurus. It's like, and that's sort of what it is. It's like one of those Hallmark Christmas movies where it's like, that's the change. The instigator is the change, because those Hallmark movies, it's always something like the big city girl has to go back to the small town and finds love, in the thing that she never thought it would be, because she's this big city girl and city life, and then there's something about the country boy or whatever that really draws her in. And it's the change, it's an instigating change that makes things happen, and makes the Christmas magic kind of thing. There's something about that coming through here, Taurus. Christmas reflection messages for Taurus. I dare say a lot of you have gone through some sort of significant changes this year. Firstly, we have the lily, followed by the tower. Okay, so that does sort of show us that there has been some sort of long-term, lifelong structure change, foundational change in your life, because the tower, especially with the lily, it can talk about, your childhood or things, from the long-term past. And this, we are looking at a reflection message. So we are looking at the past when we're reflecting. But for you, it's kind of like longer ago than just this year. For a lot of you, it's kind of this looking at where I started versus where I am now kind of thing. And the foundation, the where you've come from versus where you are going. There's a lot of emotional intimacy with oneself here, and you're reflecting upon, a lot of you may, because we do also have the moon here, which both the moon and the lily are strong emotional cards. So for a lot of you, it may have been a little bit of a lot of emotional changes. I'm kind of getting a very flippy energy where, things have been changing very quickly for you this year on an emotional level. Maybe feeling a lot of, ups and downs, highs and lows this year for various reasons, but it's kind of showing you that you've maybe felt a little bit emotionally alone this year as well. But not necessarily, and you're kind of realizing, I think, with your reflection here, that it's not necessarily a bad thing, that it's kind of more, it's allowed you to change the foundation of yourself to someone who is much stronger and more independent, more capable of dealing with emotions all by yourself without having to rely on others, and knowing that you can hold yourself, strong and steady all by yourself, and knowing that you can trust yourself and that you can trust your intuition, and that you've kind of, I feel like for a lot of you, these changes that you've been through this year, it's actually really allowed you to understand yourself and know yourself a lot deeper than what you may have in the past. And a lot of you, it is connecting to, like childhood things where you're realizing, foundational core belief systems that, those changing around a lot has strengthened you and strengthened your foundation. And it's kind of this energy of like, yeah, once again, I started from the bottom, and now look at me, kind of thing. It is what it's coming from here, that, maybe as a child you were very emotionally vulnerable, and or felt that way in some way, felt very emotionally sensitive. And this year you've really garnered a lot of strength and empowerment and self knowledge of how to deal with your emotions and process emotion, and um, not necessarily stop your emotions, but to process those, and um, accept those in new kinds of ways, and allow them to strengthen you rather than weaken you. That you're realizing that the core of who you are has changed significantly. Pretty deep message there, Taurus. So you may want to check your other placements as well, Taurus, and see if there's an extra layer of information on that one for you as well. But make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Geminis. Okay, Gemini, Christmas reflection messages for our Geminis. Christmas reflection messages for Gemini. Ooh, be surprised. See that candle with that light lighting up the whole little forest here. I'm just going to grab a second one for you here, Gemini. Christmas reflection messages for Gemini, please. We have balance coming through as well. Okay, so I feel like because we see this is like a little explosion, from a distance, look at that. It looks like a little explosion of light within yourself, an explosion of understanding your light and balancing that light within yourself, Gemini. You guys are very commonly, the twins. So very commonly, a lot of Geminis do struggle with that stereotype of having the two sides to them. But you're coming into balance, and upon reflection, you're realizing things have really kind of balanced out for you in some kind of a way this year, Gemini, just within you yourself. And it's like this explosion of like knowledge of self, this epiphany that you're having at the moment, I feel, for a lot of you. And it's quite surprising to you to find that within yourself in some kind of way. For some of you, there is some sort of, I am picking up a very specific message here as well, that you've been waiting for someone to receive karma, and you're seeing, there's this big surprise coming soon here, Gemini, that there is, justice is being balanced. Karma is balancing. So things are balancing out. So there's someone that deserves sort of some, it's kind of telling me straight away, there's some karmic justice that's deserved to somebody in order to balance out something that you had to experience. So it's kind of that energy of someone treating you badly, and they are now receiving their karmic justice for that, and that in turn balances your energy up, and that inner light sort of explodes out. It's just an energy thing. You may not even hear about this, but you may, if you do, might be surprising to hear about what's happened. Something very random and surprising may happen to somebody who has wronged you, and it kind of will explain the energetic shift within you yourself, because all of a sudden you're feeling like this explosion of like excitement and happiness and positivity and optimism, and it's because everything's becoming balanced. You're no longer sending energy into that thing, because that's part of the message here too, Gemini, is that upon reflection you realize that you still thinking about that, and you still going, oh, they treated me wrong. You're realizing that is still putting energy into that situation, and that's kind of what that explosion is here. It's like you realizing that, hang on, the more that hate is an emotion, and it still sends energy to that situation. If I truly don't care about that, I just don't send any energy to that at all. And withdrawing my energy from that completely allows you to come into balance as well. It's something about that there as well, that you still holding on to anger and resentment about something is actually still sending energy to that person. Okay. Or it may be people. Okay, because we have the child coming through first, which I'm reading that as your energy here, Gemini. But we do see that balance coming through once again. We have the feminine and the masculine both coming through next. So I'm kind of seeing you here as that explosion of light, that surprised energy. And then we see the balance coming through with the feminine and the masculine. So for some of you, it may not have just been one person that needs this karmic justice. That quite often, it definitely could be parents, for some of you here as well. Okay, but for others of you, once again, it could just refer to that twin self of, the masculine and feminine within you yourself, the balance necessary within, the yin and yang, balancing out here. And you kind of being surprised that in amongst it all, you are the one that receives the balance in return for, allowing your inner light to come through, being playful and fun, and just enjoying life rather than focusing on resentments from the past and holding on to things, because the more that you're sending that energy in there, the more that it's affecting you and unbalancing you. So it's like this opportunity for you to have a new beginning here, and to start life as a brand new adventure from here, kind of thing. To find this balance within yourself and move forward in a more innocent sense of wonder and enjoyment towards the world here. I do have the rider on the bottom of the deck, so I do feel as though there's just something, that's news on the way. So there is just something. I do feel like for a lot of you, you're going to hear about something happening, or it's going to be a surprise that, oh wow, I didn't expect that would actually ever happen, or oh, it's a surprise that someone finally got what they deserved, or they finally messed with the wrong person. Or can you clarify this message for me, please, Spirit? Clarify this message for Gemini's reflection. we have the letter coming through, so some sort of news on the way, some sort of communication that you're receiving. We have the fish and the coffin. The fish is your card. So it's like an ending. It's telling me the ending of a persecution. It's a transformation of a persecution into a brand new beginning for you. The brand new beginning is your energy for sure. You're definitely moving into a new beginning, but it's kind of sort of saying something has to be taken out first. Something has to be put to rest first. So the coffin is a death and a rebirth. So in order for you to have that rebirth, something needs to be dead and buried, gone from your life. And it's whatever has been unbalancing you. I do feel as though this news, this surprising news or communication or something that you're receiving or hearing or seeing really helps you put something to rest here that has been bothering you. It does feel like it's got to do with like some sort of persecution, somebody that has treated you wrong, or something that you still hold resentment towards somebody about. So I hope that clarifies it in some way for you. But there's a couple of you that you're not going to really know exactly what that is until you get that news, that communication of, oh, this is no longer a thing. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, now it all makes sense. And now I understand, why that was surprising and why that still needed to be balanced for me. Okay, Gemini, well, it's one of those messages that, Tyler Tarot would always sort of say, I'm not connecting. Sometimes the message isn't for the reader, okay, but that's what we've got for you. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Cancer. Okay, Cancer, Christmas reflection messages for Cancer. Forgive. For a lot of you, this is yourself that you need to forgive here. Show yourself some more kindness. Take some more time to focus on your own healing, Cancer. Treating yourself better. It's kind of one of them things where it's talking about maturity and wisdom, and as you mature, you realize that a lot of the time forgiveness is not for the other person that hurt you. It's for you, so that you're no longer holding on to that and allowing that to continue to hurt you. Because it's like every single day that you still allow that to hurt you and you don't forgive somebody and you still hold resentment for something, that hurts you. That is hurting you. And it's bringing that into your present and your future. And so then it's still hurting you. And you're still allowing that to have power over you each and every day. Cancer. Christmas reflection messages for Cancer, please. Why am I not surprised? We have the tree coming through first. So as you can see, the tree and the tree. Okay, so we have the tree in the Lenormand is a little bit more towards healing and growth, and forgiving yourself for not growing as fast as or healing as fast as you maybe have wanted to from certain situations. Allowing yourself that kindness to know that that's fine. Okay, it doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen. I don't know where that's from, but some ad or something. But that's what's coming through. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen. Okay, the healing and the growth, and it doesn't matter if you take 5 years to heal from something. It doesn't matter if you take 5 seconds to heal from something. Everybody does that at their own rate and what's right for them. Okay, but it's just asking you to reflect upon ways in which you can forgive yourself, ways in which you can treat yourself better, take care of yourself and take care of your healing just a little bit more. Be a little bit more nurturing and supportive to yourself. We have the feminine there as well. Okay, so we're supporting ourselves, we're nurturing ourselves, we're parenting ourselves in a way, like that woman is quite often, especially with the tree here, it's kind of like the earth mother energy, wanting to wrap you up and give you a giant big hug. And if you don't have a mother in your life who can do that, maybe you can do that for yourself, Cancer, because that's what it kind of is. It's taking care of oneself, healing oneself, and, loving yourself the way that a mother would love a child, an innocent child kind of thing, giving yourself that, that if you were speaking to the child version of yourself, what would you say? You know, if you were not yourself and you were talking to yourself as though you were your child, what would you say? So parenting yourself in some kind of way. Definitely seeing some revelations, personal revelations coming through here. We have the sun as well. So on the way to happiness, we do have reflection upon ourselves and forgiveness for ourselves in order to, bring that healing out into the light within ourselves so that we ourselves can stop living in the darkness, Cancer. Okay, so that's the message we have for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Leo. Pick up that card I dropped and take the timestamp for you. Okay. Okay. Leo, Christmas reflection messages for our Leos. Christmas reflection messages for Leo. Oh, ancestors. Some of these cards, there's so much going on, it's quite difficult to sort of see in the pastel colors there. We have, it's like a deer spirit with a magic wand. So it's like a ancestor spirit. Yeah. See, it's very hard to tell because they're the same color as the tree in the background, but this is like an antlered figure here with a little skirt on, a little leaf skirt. Cute. Asking for the wisdom of the ancestors to guide you. There's something here, Leo, about, because we are looking at reflecting upon the year that's been. But for you here, there's something about reflecting upon the life that has been, and it's not this one. Something about a past life is coming through here, Leo. And embracing the power of all the things that you've learnt in this life and the last. Understanding that in previous lifetimes, like some of you may even be having like dreams about past lifetimes and things like that. And it's kind of asking you to connect to the power of your past lifetime. There's a lesson that you learnt in a past lifetime here that you're needing to embrace a little bit in your current life, Leo. Of course, that's a little bit different for everyone in the collective, but it's like, even if you don't know what that is, because, it's not that many people understand their past lives and have recollections or dreams about past lives and things like that. But it's that innate knowing of, I've done that, deja vu and things like that. And like fears as well. Understanding that certain fears might not even have anything to do with this lifetime. Because you quite often you hear things about someone that has, never really had to worry about snakes and they're scared of snakes. But why? If they've never seen a snake, why are they so scared of snakes? Like maybe it's an innate fear from a past lifetime. Maybe that's how they died in their past life. They got bitten by a snake and died. So it's something like that trusting the messages of your ancestors. So for some of you, this is like spirit guide messages trying to come through to you here. Even if that's just on a subconscious level, just acknowledge that, look, even if I don't understand what they're trying to tell me, or even if I don't understand the ancestral connection or messages here, please allow my subconscious to. Please allow my higher self to connect to those messages so that I can integrate those into my life. Leo, Christmas reflection for our Leos. I just feel like there's something specific that you experienced this year that connects more to a past life than this one. And so there's something unexplainable. And it's just wanting you to know that that's how it's explainable. That's how it is explained. It's from the past life connection, not necessarily this one. Look at this. We have the coffin and the book. Now, the coffin always talks about death and rebirth. So in this particular situation, it's kind of talking about knowledge from the death, knowledge from the past life. Look at that. Is on the way. So that's what we're reflecting upon here. The knowledge that we've learned without knowing how we've learned that. Like, a lot of you aren't consciously going to understand how you know this, or why you're wanting to learn something, or why something feels like a mysterious entity in your life in some way. It's because it's coming from a past life here. This is quite literally, a death that you've already experienced. So for a lot of you, this is knowledge about, or learning about specifically from your death in your past life. So I do feel a lot of you here, Leo, quite a lot of you may actually have dreams about dying at the moment, and understand that they're not necessarily, right here, right now dreams. Maybe this is something to do with a past life. And that there's just something going on with your subconscious at the moment that I just wanted you to understand that that's perfectly fine, and it's actually the unexplainable thing. It's maybe a mystery that you don't need to understand on a conscious level, but to accept that message. And when that rider comes in bearing news, bearing this knowledge from this past life, to just accept it and trust it. Don't use your logic on it, use your heart on it, Leo. So that's a very random message, definitely not what I was expecting. But that's what we have for you, Leo. You are more than welcome to check your other placements and see what else wants to come through for those. But make sure you subscribe, and we will move on over to our Virgos. Okay, Virgo. Christmas reflection messages for our Virgos. Whoa, okay. Those ones just wanted to kind of scream out at you here, Virgo. Firstly, we have the question. We also have chaos. So questioning the chaos, Virgo. Reflecting upon the chaos, but there's the need to question that chaos. Okay, so what was the chaos that happened for you this year that you're reflecting upon? And needing to question, needing to probe into that a little bit deeper and question yourself. When that chaos was ensuing, what did you do? What did you feel? What did you think? What did you say? What did other anyone else involved in the situation? What did they do? What did they think? What did they say? Questioning. And what could I have done better? What could I have, if I had the chance to redo that, what would I have done? How can I fix that? What, questioning that situation. It is also saying to me, in amongst all the chaos, did you question the other person's perspective at all? Needing to run back through the chaos through somebody else's perspective here, even if it was just chaos just for you, running back through it from an outsider perspective, like an objective perspective. So taking out you and your emotion from the situation, from the chaos. Now question the situation. And maybe there's just knowledge to be gained. There's answers that can be gained here, Virgo, for you. This is what you need to reflect upon, the most chaotic thing. A lot of you intrinsically know straight away what that is for you. And I can hear a couple of you saying, oh, which one? Because there was more than one. So maybe I hate to break it to you, Virgo, but those of you who are saying which one specifically, because there was more than one, it's a reflection upon all of those events, unfortunately, needing to question all of those. Once you start questioning one, you will sort of instinctively know which one is the one that you need to question the most, because there was just one chaotic thing the most, even if you had a few different things going on. Maybe it was just the whole year in general that was chaotic, and that's why we've got multiple things coming through there for you. Christmas reflection messages for Virgo. The stork and the clouds coming through first here. So that's that questioning element, questioning your thoughts, questioning your perspective. Okay, the stork stirs up brand new perspectives, new ideas and ways of looking at things. The clouds is your thoughts and your overthinking. So in amongst all your overthinking there, Virgo, you're only thinking one track. You're only thinking of your perspective, your thoughts, and you're overthinking them. Okay, you're overthinking those. You're spiraling out into negative thinking here, Virgo, where, and that's what you're saying, oh, I'm just an overthinker. But it's not that you're just an overthinker. It's that you're going down this rabbit hole where your overthinking just spirals around the negative stuff, and you're overthinking all that. But you need to come up with new perspectives, new ideas, and new ways of looking at things, which includes considering the spiraling into the positive side of overthinking as well. Not just overthinking all the chaotic energy. You're needing to think about all the other side of things as well. Balance, Virgo, that you can't say, I've thought of every single possible consequence, if you've only thought of every single possible negative consequence. If you're saying to yourself the worst thing that can happen, and I've thought about that, I already know what the worst things that can happen are. So I've thought about every possible solution. No, you haven't. Because what about all the positive possible solutions? That it's like, oh, that would never happen. How do you know? Because you haven't even thought about it yet. You gotta both sides, both perspectives. It's kind of that energy of your side, their side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. And if you're only thinking one side of the story and you're not thinking about the other side of the story, so if you're only thinking negative and you're not thinking positive, you're not seeing the truth in your middle. You're only seeing the negative. Okay? We do have the coffin coming through there as well, which is, needing to put an end to the way you're currently thinking and transform the way we're thinking into something new, starting to think in new ways. The coffin is a death and a rebirth. It's a transformative energy. So we're transforming our thoughts instead of just looking at the coffin as though it's death and grim. We're looking at that as though, oh, every death is a rebirth. Well, rebirth. Let's have a look into the rebirth side of things and reincarnate things. In the ways that we, once again, you can't look at just all the darkness, Virgo, without looking also at the light. All right, so that's what we've got for you, especially when it comes to questioning the chaos, whether that's just the chaos of your mind or certain events that have happened throughout the year for you, Virgo. But yeah, definitely check out the other placements that you have there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Libra. Okay. Libra, Christmas reflection messages for Libra. Just realised I've left that aircon going and it is super loud in the background. Just one sec. Sorry, Libra, sorry about that. Simplicity we have for you. Okay, I'm so used to the noise of that thing. It's been running pretty constantly. It feels like silence. It feels like simplicity when I turn that off. But it's super hot here in Australia, guys. Enjoying the simple things in life and reflecting upon, the simplicity and the enjoyment that you have gained this year from the most simplest of things. And, it keeps saying, keep it simple, stupid. That thing that people say, like, keep it simple. That you're realizing that the more convoluted that you're involving yourself into things, the more trouble that it's creating for you. And that's the reflection you're noticing this year is that you really just need to keep things simple for yourself, and it keeps you happy. The simple things are the things that you've actually enjoyed the most, and the things that you put so much effort into and you organized, and those are the things that actually ended up being too much stress, kind of thing. So it's kind of like, was it even worth it in the long run? Christmas reflection messages for Libra. So just really enjoying reflecting upon the most simple things, and I think for a lot of you it's this reflection upon moving forward. I don't want to continue to over elaborate things for myself. I would rather the simplicity. It works out better anyway. So we have the heart and the clover coming through first for you here. So, that's the simple things in life. Love, that unconditional love, and taking a chance, taking risks on yourself and your own healing. We have the tree there as well. So, that's what has helped you grow the most, is taking a chance on yourself, and you're taking care of yourself in the simple ways, and expanding love in your life. And it's kind of this energy of home is where the heart is, and you're realizing that I don't need all these overcomplicated things in my life. All I need is love. So maybe it's time that I take a chance on the family focused stuff, and health and healing and my own growth, and just growth coming from a very basic love for life. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. Quite a simple message for you there, Libra. All in all as well, especially, that's what we're seeing. Keep it simple. Okay, but that's what we've got for you, Libra. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio, Christmas reflection messages for Scorpio. Christmas reflection messages for our Scorpios. Truth. Oh, it's been a year for you, hasn't it, Scorpio? reflecting upon the truths that have been revealed this year and the truth of self as well. I was actually talking about this with one of my besties, Scorpio. One of my besties who is a Scorpio. We were talking the other day about, a little bit about reflection upon how much we've grown and changed this year, and the things we've been through, and understanding a greater truth to the universe for ourselves and a purpose for ourselves, and a lot of self-empowerment as well, a lot of seeing one's truth and acceptance of self, the truth of oneself coming through strong for you this year, Scorpio. What truly matters to you in life. And I feel like for a lot of you, truth matters strongly, and seeing the truth of yourself is mattering in this reflection here as well. Christmas reflections for Scorpio. Some of you have sort of seen some harsh truth this year as well, unfortunately. We have the clouds coming through first. A lot of overthinking, but it's an overthinking and an anxiety that is, I feel like the clouds are parting for you in order, truth is what is really helping you clear out that confusion, helping you clear out, the anxieties that have been created within you, because the more you see of your own truth, the more that clears out all that confusion and overthinking and dwelling in one's thoughts. We have the anchor here, especially thoughts that have been holding us back. You're now seeing the truth of those, and allowing yourself to see this. It's this greater truth coming through to you here, especially with the tree coming through here as well, which talks about healing and growth. So it's like you're seeing that your own thoughts have been holding you back, but now you're allowing yourself to see this greater truth that is enabling you to grow and heal yourself, because you're realizing that, what, I've been through so much in the past that I know that I can hold myself steady through any storm. I've been through these storm clouds. I've been through those storm clouds. I know I can keep myself steady and stable and rely on myself no matter what the cloud cover is giving. You've had, this is like a realization for you of your own interpersonal strength and how much you have grown, and especially within your own thoughts and perspectives this year. You're no longer holding back. You're not holding back that truth anymore, especially self-truth, self-empowerment stuff coming through strong here, Scorpio. You have grown so much and healed yourself so much this year. And that is the inner truth of yourself, is seeing that about yourself and knowing that you've got this durability of soul, really, more than anything, and honesty and truth to get through anything else that comes your way, because you're like, I'm steady. I know I can rely on my own truth, and I know I can, it's like the truth shall set you free kind of thing. And for you, it really is setting you free, and it's enabling you to grow and heal yourself continually. A lot of reflection for you on that. And like, let me be the first to say, like, congratulations on realizing how much you have grown and healed and changed, that you really have been truthful to yourself, and you have this self-empowerment to continue to do that and honor the truth of not only the universe but yourself. Okay, Scorpio, so you're more than welcome to check your other placements, but definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, we've just left Sagittarius season. I hope everyone had a great birthday, all the Saggies. Sagittarius. Christmas reflection messages for Sagittarius. Ooh, unlock. Unlock. We see the dragon curled around his treasure hoard. Unlocking the secrets of the universe, Sagittarius. Unlocking the treasure within yourself. Ooh. Yeah. Clarify this message for Sagittarius, please. Christmas reflection messages for Sagittarius. There's an expression. There's a... oh my gosh. Firstly, we have the letter and the key. Look at that. Unlocking. Unlock. And then we have the key, which unlocks. This unlocks the secret of yourself. This expression, self-expression, or, communication unlocking to you. Opening up to some sort of communication or expression that opens you up, unlocks new pathways for you. It's kind of this energy here of you reflecting upon, oh wow, all I had to do was ask, and then I received. As soon as I communicated or expressed what door I wanted to open, then bang, it opened for me. Reflecting upon all the opportunities that you have been granted this year. I feel like a lot of you have unlocked certain parts of yourself and certain opportunities to be more of yourself in very expressive ways this year. And the more and more that you've expressed yourself and communicated and opened your heart to others and to yourself, the more opportunities that is created for you. We also have the crossroad here. So it's giving you, opportunities to walk new paths in your life and make different choices to what you maybe thought you were going to make. For some of you, I do feel as though there's a big choice upcoming as well. Okay, so for some of you, this is direct communication about an opportunity that you have now unlocked. It's like you've leveled up in some kind of way, Sagittarius, like you're reflecting upon the year. It's kind of telling me here that the more that you reflect upon the year that has been, the more likely that you're actually manifesting this choice, this decision unlocking to you, opening up to you. And for some of you, it hasn't come in yet. But look at this. We have repeating numbers as well. We've got 3, 3, and 2, 2 on those cards there as well. So you may be seeing a lot of synchronicities at the moment as well. But there is, for a lot of you, this choice hasn't even been realized as of yet. But there is this big decision or choice that you're going to understand soon. And the more that you reflect upon where you've been and where you want to go next, looking back through the year at where you've been and all the opportunities you've created for yourself, and it really helps you understand where you want to go next from here, what opportunities you're wanting to choose from, and they will sort of fall into place for you. You're sitting on this treasure hoard and you don't even know it yet. You really are wrapped around this giant big ball of treasure and you don't even realize it yet. But the more that you reflect upon the opportunities that you've gained this year, the more opportunities will present themselves to you as well. So don't stop now, Sagittarius. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Capricorns. Okay, Capricorn. Christmas reflection messages for our Capricorns. Christmas reflection messages for Capricorn. Silence. Silence is golden. On the bottom of the deck, we have truth. It's not telling, it's, as you would probably understand from the card being a card of silence, it's not telling me anything. It's moving in silence. Clarify this message for Capricorn, please. Christmas reflection messages for Capricorn, please. What exists in the silence, Capricorn? What exists in the silence, Capricorn? The answer to that is the universe. We have the cross coming through, first destiny. This is talking about a few different things. For some of you, there's a message here about like somebody's silence. It's like silence speaks louder than words. But it's kind of, it's fate, it's destiny, it's spiritual connection. It's like, you know how like you can sit in perfect silence with someone and still understand exactly what they're saying? Have you got that connection with anyone, Capricorn? Where you can tell what someone's thinking just from looking at their face. Like you see a look on someone's face and you know exactly what they're thinking or exactly what they're saying to you, and no words are exchanged. It's because of this soul connection you have. For some of you here, and for others it's more so to do with your soul connection alone, like you just being so in tune, Capricorn, with the universe and with your own spirituality, that you're understanding a lot more than people realize. And it's not even about reality, Capricorn. For a lot of you, it's about the universe. It's like you're understanding the universe through the silence, and the noise of reality is just a distraction to you, in all honesty. It's like, and I'm getting something here too about when you notice the silence, like when, like if you're because it's coming through as like some ascension stuff as well, Capricorn. It's like you'll be sitting there, even if you're in a room full of people and you're sitting there, right, and all of a sudden you have it's like a bubble comes down over you and everything else fades out, and just you're just there in this little bubble of silence. Or sometimes it's even like a physical, like a pop in your ears, and all of a sudden everything just goes silent for a little moment in time. And that's when you're connecting, that's when you're receiving messages. Okay, we have the letter here, communication, expression. So something about your communication, your expression of your own destiny, of understanding destiny, of your own spiritual self. The more that, there's this reflection upon expressing more through the silence than you need to express through words anymore, Capricorn. And understanding more through the silence than you need to understand through words. It's a very spiritual message for a lot of you here. And for others, we do have the owls there as well. This wisdom coming through this communication being expressed to you from spirit, from the universe, from God. In the silence, you're receiving messages. This is conversations. This is wisdom. This is universe wisdom that's being expressed and communicated to you in the silence. So pay attention to the silence, Capricorn. It means more than you might realize. Reflect upon the quiet times. For a lot of you, I do feel like Capricorn here, this is coming with a message of, Capricorn, please take yourself away from the world for 5 minutes and sit in silence and see what comes through for you. Like, I feel like for a lot of you, there's a lot of stuff going on subconsciously that you may not even understand. But there's a lot of spiritual, universal energy messages being given to you, wisdom being shared with you, that you don't necessarily need to understand that on a conscious level. It's like an ascension. It's a message of ascension of some sort, Capricorn, leveling up your spiritual self. And it's, oh my gosh. And then I saw what's underneath that as well. Capricorn, the hidden energy. We have truth. And then I saw privilege, love, dreams, patience, manifest, and then cherish. Capricorn, some privilege, Capricorn, privilege. Not everyone understands the silence as much as you do or have the potential to. So you have the privilege. It's kind of that energy of, with great power comes great responsibility, Capricorn. So it's kind of really wanting you to take 5-10 minutes in the silence and try to maybe do that as a nightly meditation or something along those lines, and just silence. The more silence, the more it's the loud. Okay, silence brings the loud, if that makes sense. Like, even if you don't consciously understand it, that's fine as well. Okay, it's knowledge, it's wisdom from the universe. Sometimes you don't need to understand it on a conscious level. It's part of your ascension at the moment, Capricorn. Okay. A lot of people always talk about, spiritual awakenings and spiritual ascensions. And, there seems to be this thing in the spiritual community where people seem to talk about spiritual ascension as though there's an end result. There's not really, not in this lifetime, Capricorn. It's a continual process. Because if we all reached full ascension tomorrow, we would no longer be in these meat bodies. We would be dead, what we would consider dead. Death is what we would consider the next level beyond this earthly plane, right? So there's no limit to our ascension progress on the earthly plane. So I just feel like that's necessary to add in here, because I don't know, I just feel like someone here is like, oh, but I've already been through an awakening. It doesn't stop, Capricorn. It's a continual thing, and there's more awakenings and more ascension that can happen than what is recognized for some reason. Like, unless you've been through it, you don't understand. But it's kind of like this thing of like, oh, I thought I already went through a spiritual ascension, but that was just part one, baby. It's like high school, there's different grades, and then there's different tests for the end of each grade, and then there's another grade, and and then even when high school's finished, that's not necessarily the end. You may choose to go on to university or college or whatever, and then that may not even be the end. There may be more training you have to do down the line, more specialized training and whatnot. It doesn't end. It does not end. Okay, Capricorn. Sometimes it would be lovely if it did, but it does not end. The truth, the privilege, with great power comes great responsibility. All right, but that's what we've got for you. I know that it was a little bit esoteric there, Capricorn, but you're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius, Christmas reflection messages for Aquarius. Dreams. Reflecting upon your dreams, Aquarius. I also have companionship coming through for you here as well. So for a lot of you, this has got to do with like, it's not just your own dreams. It's like there's other people here. It's not just you. It's your dreams, but it's like your dreams that have got to do with some sort of companionship, whether that be a partner or, friends or, business partners or companionship with spirit, whatever whatever feels right for you here. There's some sort of companionship dreams, and it's like goals, like wishes that you have here, and your reflection here upon the fact that you actually have moved. You may not have achieved those dreams, but do you know what you have done this year, Aquarius? You've clarified those, and you've set those a little bit clearer for yourself, so that you know exactly what you're aiming toward here a little bit better than what you did at the start of the year. For some of you, didn't even have goals when it comes to this at all at the start of the year, but now you're realizing you actually do. You're reflecting upon, the way that you want relationships to, progress in your life, whether they be, platonic or romantic or business or whatever. You're paying a little bit more attention and reflecting upon, where exactly though they stand as of now, as to where I want those to progress from here on out. So, your reflection is kind of looking at how things stand for you right now within your, your ideal relationships, I suppose. Not feeling alone as well seems to be part of this dream here, Aquarius. Not feeling alone, not feeling like people don't understand you, even when they're your best friend and they don't understand you. You're like, you have this goal of being understood, of feeling as though somebody walks beside me and understands me. There's something about that coming through. So it's not so much of a reflection as a goal setting activity, like to see where I'm at currently so I know where I want to go from here kind of reflection. Okay, Aquarius, Christmas reflection messages for Aquarius. Definitely to do with relationships. Okay, firstly we have the ring followed by the sun, and then we also have the snake coming through here as well. So for some of you, we have Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio all coming through here, Aquarius. So you may have certain relationships in your life that may have strong placements in one of those. But ultimately, this is talking about, having epiphanies about where those relationships currently stand. Coming to light to you right now, all the deception, the betrayals that have occurred for you here within companionship. Where you've been deceived or you've had some sort of an illusion that, I thought that this was like that, but no, it turns out it's not. And now I feel betrayed, that kind of thing. So it's kind of like there may have been a specific relationship in your life this year, Aquarius, where you're like, I thought this was XYZ sort of a relationship, or it was going here kind of relationship, but now I see the truth of the matter and I understand that I was being deceived. You do kind of feel a little bit betrayed by that. It's kind of that false friend dynamic coming through there, and you're sort of having this epiphany, this clarity. It's really coming to light for you through reflection upon those relationships where you do feel a little bit betrayed here, Aquarius, and so it enables you to remove that that deception, take the wool off your eyes kind of thing, so you can understand, whereabouts you want actually to go with these relationships in order to actually be happy and to feel fulfilled within those relationships. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for you, Aquarius. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Pisces. Okay, Pisces, Christmas reflection messages for Pisces. Christmas reflection messages for our Pisces. Oh, Pisces. Firstly, we have the Hawthorn wand. Okay. This is a very interesting energy because it's like a creator. And it's very magical energy. But it's very interesting because the second card we have for you is chaos. So you actually, this is Pisces. Some of you are going to be annoyed at me for calling you out a little bit here. But your reflection this year is looking at where have you created your own chaos? Reflecting upon the year and thinking back to the things that were most chaotic energy for you this year. Ups and downs, not just the low points, but the high points as well, and the frenetic, chaotic activities at those high and low points. Okay, and how much of that did you create within your own self, within your own head, within your own emotions? How much of that chaos actually didn't actually need to be that, Pisces? How much of that was created from you and your own choices and your own decisions and your own kind of exacerbating a situation kind of energy, to be honest? I'll clarify this before we go further. Pisces, Christmas reflection messages for our Pisces. Because it's telling me that I've been saying this a lot, but it's like, because I'm picking it up here, Pisces, that you saying, like, if you say to me, Pisces, I don't care about that, but then while we're having a conversation, you bitch and whinge about that one particular thing, but then you turn around and say, oh, but I don't even care about that. I don't even care. I know that you care, because, holding some sort of resentment or, bitching and whinging is holding energy towards that. So I feel like this is what you need to reflect upon, Pisces, is the fact that you're telling yourself that these certain things don't matter. That doesn't matter to me. That I don't care about that. Well, why are you still holding energy towards that? Hate is just as strong as emotion as love. So, hating someone or hating something that happened, having resentment or anger towards that, sadness or hurt, even if it's not, you're like, oh, but I'm not hurt by that. I'm not hurt by that. But I'm still angry that they still did this and this and this. Like, well, you obviously are still hurt by that, because you wouldn't be angry about that if you weren't hurt by that. Because, if you don't actually care about something, you're not angry, you're not happy, you're not sad. You're not anything towards that. You don't hold any energy towards things that you don't care about. You know, like, if, just as a random example here, Pisces, like, you know, obviously it's probably not the right example if you're a big sports person, but like, if a football team in America, right? I'm here in Australia. I'm not a sports person. But if two football, you know, whoever won the grand final in the American football, if I sat there and said, oh, that team, I don't care about that team, but, oh, geez, they were hopeless and they did this and they did that wrong. Obviously, I care to some extent. But if I'm sitting here and I'm saying, I don't care about American football to the point where I don't even know what teams were in the grand final because I don't actually care. So why would I pretend that I care? That's not caring, Pisces. I can't even talk about that situation because I don't know anything about that situation because it is not relevant to me or my life. Whereas I could sit here and go, oh, I was about to say Chicago Bulls, but I'm like, that's not even American football, is it, guys? That's like basketball, right? See, this is how much I do not care about sports. The number 8 coming up a lot here, Pisces, too. That's standing out to me because, look, 8, the coffin, 18, the dog, 28, the masculine. 8, 18, 28. Why am I saying 8, 8, 8 here, Pisces? And it's a progression of 8s. 8, 18, 28. So we're looking at the end of a friendship for a lot of you. It may not be an actual friendship. It was like a platonic connection of some sort. It looks like there was an ending throughout the year here that you're saying, you know, because the dog generally has a lot of loyalty. The dog generally has a lot of loyalty and, you know, dependability and whatnot, durability, long-term energy here. We see the coffin here, so something came to an end within that friendship or within that relationship, platonic or otherwise, business or otherwise. Something came to an end about that. And, you know, with the death comes a rebirth, but we're not fully closed. We haven't actually fully closed the lid on that yet. But we're up here in the masculine going, I don't care about that. Look, I'm not even looking at that. I'm not looking at the dog in the coffin. I'm not even looking at that. I'm better than that. I have zero emotions towards that. Well, if you have zero emotions towards that, why are you so trying to put on this facade of I'm not looking at that? Why are you going so hard out of your way to intentionally ignore that issue if you don't have lingering emotions about it? You're controlling your emotions about it. You're hiding from your emotions about it. You're not actually processing that because you're avoiding it. Something to do with most likely a masculine. For a lot of you, this had to do with a male. I don't normally genderize that masculine, but it is coming through for quite a lot of you here as an actual male, whether that was a platonic relationship, a family relationship, business relationship. For some of you, this is like a co-worker that something ended within that relationship. There's an ending that took place here. And it was probably very chaotic time of the year here, Pisces. And rather than allowing that coffin lid to close completely so that that can completely transform into a rebirth, because that is a death and then a rebirth, okay? But right now it's not being reborn into new energy. That energy is all still sitting there in that coffin because you're not closing the lid on it. Without closing the lid on it properly, it can't be refreshed into other areas of your life. So avoiding this issue is actually holding you back in other areas. You got to use that magic wand to face this issue, Pisces. Honestly, Pisces, I really would not be surprised if a lot of you here have Aries. I think it was Scorpio, maybe, placements. Someone else had the chaos as well. Virgo, maybe. Yeah, Virgo had chaos. But I think it was I'm just mostly getting Aries, Virgo, and Scorpio placements coming through here, Pisces. But that could also be this person that you're engaged with here, with the, the ending of some sort of most likely platonic type relationship here. Some sort of long-term companionship, support relationship, friend relationship here. So we do need to stop avoiding this and reflecting upon, hang on, well, how can I actually progress through this and accept this, and in order to actually close that off completely. If I don't actually care about that, what do I need to do to make that the reality? Because it is still sitting in my energy. I need to actually, remove that chaotic energy from myself here. And I'm not going to lie, Pisces, a lot of you had a role to play in creating the chaos of that situation. So you need to accept your role in that, and you need to accept your avoidance of that. Okay, so I'm sorry if that was a little bit confronting for you personally, Pisces, but that's what we have coming through for you there. But you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all on Christmas Day. Okay, I will upload the next video on Christmas Day, and then, like I said, I will be sort of a little bit sporadic with the uploads between now and early January. I will be away until maybe I think the 6th or 7th of January. So, for the next few weeks, the uploads may be a little bit far and few between. But definitely leave me comments and let me know if there's any specific topics or anything you would like me to look at when I can get those up for you. Okay, but personal readings will still be open though. Okay, so if you do want a personal reading, all my details are in the description box as well. Okay, but thank you for your time, and I'll see you all soon.